जय गणेश मंगल करन प्राणवो बारंबार हर हुआ मंगल लख सरन जय 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 उमा कुमार मंगल सुमिरन गणपति देवा मंगल सुमिरन गणपति देवा गणपति देवा या को पिता महादेवा मंगल गणपति देवा या को पिता महादेवा गणपति देवा या को पिता महादेवा मंगल सुमिरन गणपति देवा मंगल सुमिरन गणपति देवा मंगल करण हरण भव बाबा शिव योगी बाबा शिव योगी बाबा शिव योगी शिव योगी रे शिव योगी बाबा शिव योगी बाबा शिव योगी अंग विभूति रमाय सदा शिव मित्र्या मांगे आया अंग विभूति रमाय सदा शिव मित्र्या मांगे आया नंद रानी के महलन माही नंद रानी के महलन माही हमके अलख जनाया बाबा शिव योगी जसगाया बाबा शिव योगी जसगाया शिव योगी जसगाया रे शिव योगी जसगाया रे बाबा शिव योगी जसगाया बाबा शिव योगी जसगाया विद्रलायन कसी नंदरानी शंकर शीश हिलाया विद्रलायन कसी नंदरानी शंकर शीश हिलाया नंगे लेट के गई भवन में नंगे लेट के गई भवन में अमर आनी आया बाबा शिव योगी जसगाया बाबा शिव योगी जसगाया शिव योगी जसगाया रे शिव योगी जसगाया रे बाबा शिव योगी जसगाया बाबा शिव योगी जसगाया बालक ले आए नंद रानी कर अचल को छाया बालक ले आई नंद रानी कर अचल को छाया चरण लोई चरण नलिन्हा श्रृंगी नाल बजाई बाबा शिव योगी बिना गुरु कौन महेश मिलावे, बिना गुरु कौन महेश मिलावे, कौन महेश मिलावे, कौन महेश मिलावे, बिना गुरु कौन महेश मिलावे, गुरु बिना कौन महेश मिलावे। काल म्यान सिर ऊपर गाजे, जाप मरम लगावे, काल म्यान सिर ऊपर गाजे, जाप मरम लगावे, करी उपदेश लिया मठ मन को, करी उपदेश लिया मठ मन को, उपगत गात बचावे, बिना गुरु कौन महेश मिलावे, गुरु बिना कौन महेश मिलावे, कौन महेश मिलावे, बिना गुरु कौन महेश मिलावे, गुरु बिना। गुरु की महिमा आदि समुदे, वेद विदितियों में, गुरु की महिमा आदि समुदे, वेद विदितियों गावे, समुदेश निज धाम आपनो, समुदेश निज धाम आपनो, गुरु बिना वेद न पावे, बिना गुरु कौन महेश मिलावे, गुरु बिना कौन महेश मिलावे, कौन महेश मिलावे, कौन महेश मिलावे, गुरु बिना कौन महेश मिलावे। जब लगी गुरु पद मन न भावे, तब लग जग मत खावे, जब लगी गुरु पद मन न भावे, तब लगी जग मत खावे, देवी सहाय चरण गुरु मोही, देवी सहाय चरण गुरु मोही, सागर पार लगावे, बिना गुरु कौन महेश मिलावे, बिना गुरु कौन महेश मिलावे, कौन महेश मिलावे, गुरु जी कौन महेश मिलावे, बिना गुरु कौन महेश मिलावे, बिना गुरु कौन महेश मिलावे, बिना गुरु कौन महेश मिलावे। प्रथम सुमर श्री गणेश गौरी सुत प्रिया महेश, प्रथम सुमर श्री गणेश, प्रथम सुमर श्री गणेश गौरी सुत प्रिया महेश, सकल विजन भय खड़े दूर से निवारे, प्रथम सुमर श्री गणेश, प्रथम
Well, my dear devotees, it is my distinct pleasure to extend to you a very cordial welcome to the second night of worship to the Mangal Murti of Lord Ganesh. So on behalf of Sri Sitaram Gosainji, his family and members of Swasivachanam, we invite you to focus your mind on that very impressive Murti of Lord Ganesh. It is our sincere hope that your attendance here will be of great benefit to you. That is the purpose of having this yagya, that give you an opportunity. If you look around and see the ambience that has been prepared for you, is to give you that opportunity to sit and ask the divine embodiment of Lord Ganesh to bless you, guide you, protect you. Fulfillment of desires. All form of devotion is about fulfillment of desires. So we'll ask you to stand now as we perform arati.
Hari Om Gam Ganapati Bhyo Namo Namaha. Om Gam Ganapati Bhyo Namo Namaha. Om Gam Ganapati Bhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh Deva, Mata Jaki Parvati Pita Mahadeva, गणपति देवा गणपति देवा गणपति देवा
जय गणेश देवा माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा गणपति देवा गणपति देवा
जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा
गणपति देवा
गणपति देवा ओ गणपति देवा एक दंत दयावंत छार भुजधारी एक दंत दयावंत छार भुजधारी माते सिंदूर सोए मुसकी सवारी गणपति देवा ओ गणपति देवा गणपति देवा
माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा गणपति देवा
अंदन को आखिरत अंदन को आखिरत कोरियन को काया अंदन को आखिरत कोरियन को काया भाजन का पुत्र दित निर्धन को गणपति देवा गणपति देवा ओ गणपति देवा
माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा गणपति देवा
हार चढ़े फूल चढ़े और चढ़े मेवा हार चढ़े फूल चढ़े और चढ़े मेवा मोदक का भोग लगे संत घरे बोले गणपति देवा हाँ गणपति देवा गणपति देवा
माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा गणपति देवा
विनायका विनायका अरे बोलो विनायका विनायका वीणा दाता विनायका अरे बोलो वीणा दाता विनायका बोलो विनायका विनायका अरे बोलो विनायका 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 प्रेम से बोलो श्री गजानन स्वामी की उमापति महादेव की जय आज शक्ति दुर्गा देवी माता की प्रेम से बोलो श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की सत्य सनातन धर्म की आसन दीजिए प्लीज टेक योर सीट्स प्रेम से बोलो श्री उमापति महादेव की A most cordial welcome to each and every one of you here this evening. Tonight being the second night of Discourse, the third night in this most auspicious time of the Ganesh Chaturthi, the great celebration of our Lord Ganapati Baba. Thank you all for being here. Tonight we have been joined by listeners on 103 FM. We thank you for joining in. And all the individuals who are logged in on our YouTube page, PT Gosain and Swasti Vachanam, our family and friends from all over the world, Swagatam, welcome. To you blessed individuals who are here today, who have graced our home, in front of this beautiful Mangal Murti of Lord Ganapati, all in an effort for us to win the grace of that divine. I say to you, my dear friends, each and every one of us have some sort of ailment, be it health-wise, relationship, business-wise, whatever the case may be. This Lord, Vignaharta, Vigneshwar, is able and competent to remove those difficulties from your path. Those of you at home, from time to time you will see the beautiful image, the pratima of the Lord. Surrender your hearts to Him. Tonight, my dear friends, we are welcome at our home, Shri Rakesh Yankaran. He is no stranger to this premises. He has not been here for many, many years. I want to welcome him. And at the end, my dear friends, when the devotees make their offerings, he will enchant us with some beautiful, melodious songs dedicated to the Lord. Rakesh Yankaran is a dear brother and friend of mine. I love his voice. I love his sweetness in his songs. And I thought it best I would ask him to grace my home once more. Thank you for coming. Put your hands together, everybody. Sit upright. As we begin tonight with invocation mantras, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Om Gam Ganapate Bhyo Namo Namah. Shri Gam Ganapate Bhyo Namo Namah. Guruji Vandana. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaram, Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Bhagwan Shiva Dhyan Dharo. Om Namah Shivaya. Trayambakam yajamahi Sugandhim pushti vardhanam Urvarukam iva bandhanan Mrityur mukshiyamam ritat. Salutations to Girija, Parvati, Ambika, Mata Bhavani. Om Jayatvam Devi Chamunde, Jai Bhutar Harani, Jai Sarvagate Devi, Kalratri Namastute. Salutations to Bhagwan Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mukam karoti vachalam Panghum langhayate girim Yat kripatamaham vandi Paramananda Madhavam. Asatu ma sadgamaya Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Mrityurama amritam gamaye. Hari Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. My dear friends, after Bandana, salutations to the Almighty in all the different forms, tonight we seek the blessings of Bhagwan Ganapati in a special bhajan. Let us all join our hands together. Look at the Mangal Murti of Lord Ganesh as we seek his blessings. Bhagwan Ganesh is the remover of impediments and difficulties. Let us all win his grace. Jaya Ganesha Gana Nata Dayanidhi Sakala Vigana Kar Dura Hamare Jaya Ganesha Gana Nata Dayanidhi Sakala Vigana Kar Dura Hamare प्रथम दरी जो ज्ञान तुम्हारे प्रथम दरी जो ज्ञान तुम्हारे जिसकी पूरन कारज सारे जय गणेश लंबोदर गज वदन मनोहर लंबोदर गज वदन मनोहर कर त्रिशूल पर शूवरदारे जय गणेश नाथ दयानिधि रिधि सिद्धि दो चमर दुलारे रिधि सिद्धि दो चमर दुलारे मूषक वाहन परम सुखारे जय गणेश नाथ दयानिधि सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे ब्रह्मादि का सुर यावत मन में ब्रह्मादि का सुर यावत मन में ऋषि मुनि गण दास तुम्हारे जय गणेश नाथ दयानिधि ब्रह्मानंद 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 सहाय करो नित ब्रह्मानंद सहाय करो नित भक्त जनों के तुम रखवारे जय गणेश नाथ दयानिधि सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे प्रेम से बोलो श्री गजानन स्वामी की. My dear friends, today is Thursday, we worship special pujan to Bhagwan Shiva. So my dear friends, very simple. We'll do a beautiful bhajan to that Lord, Bam Bam Bole Mahadev. Join with me, my dear friends, if you can join in these words. Namo Mahadeva Shambho, Namo Sadashiva, Jaya Parameshwar, Jaya Bhuvaneshwar, Jaya Shiva Shankar. Everybody. Bhavani Shankar, Uma Maheshwar, Girija Shankar. Bhavani Shankar, Uma Maheshwar, Girija Shankar. Bhavani Shankar, Uma Maheshwar, Girija Shankar. जय परमेश्वर जय भुवनेश्वर जय शिव शंकर ओम। प्रेम से बोलो आज शक्ति दुर्गा देवी माता की, प्रेम से बोलो श्री उमापति महादेव की जय। My dear friends, tonight we take a dive in the most sacred text of Sri Ganesh Puran. Ganesh Puran is the scripture that tells us of the greatness of Bhagwan Ganapati. For the past few nights, my dear friends, last night, we engaged ourselves in glorifying this Lord. And last night, my dear friends, I explained to the bhaktas, those who were here, and those who were listening to the airwaves, that this Ganapati is the sum total of everything. I explained last night, he has a huge stomach. And every year when we choose this murti, I specifically look at a murti with a big stomach. That is not symbolic to tell our men and women in the world that it's good to have big bellies. It symbolized to me he is the magnificent Lord. He is the sum total, the supreme being. I explained last night, his huge ears, the elephant ears, is always moving. Not everything you hear is good to listen to. The symbolism of this great Lord, we have discussed that last night. And I also brought the katha to those who had the ears to listen, whereby Brahma, Pitamaha, and Vishnu, and even Shiva prayed to this Bhagwan Ganapati. When Lord Vishnu got himself in difficulty by Madhu and Kaitab, just rehashing last night's discourse, while Bhagwan Vishnu was in Dhyan, Yog Nidra, out of his ears, two demons sprouted, Madhu and Kaitab. And my dear friend, Bhagwan Vishnu could not have destroyed him. And Bhagwan Vishnu knows in his heart there is only one person that could help him, and that is Lord Shiva. But in last night's katha, we saw Lord Vishnu transform himself as a celestial dancer and musician and presented himself to the home of Bhagwan Shiva. And he danced his hearts out. He sang his hearts out to the Lord. And then he said to this Gandhava, Lord Vishnu in disguise, he said, Varmango ask a boon. And then Lord Vishnu explained in disguise that, listen, Madhu and Kaitab is causing havoc and difficulty. Bhagwan Shiva told him to pray to Bhagwan Ganapati, Pujave, Puje, Manave this Ganapati and all his difficulties. And then Bhagwan Shiva says to Bhagwan Vishnu in disguise, he says, Oh Bhagwan, is this really you? Why did you have to disguise? And one of the points I made last night, where I'm going to continue from here, is that when you go before the Lord, don't go in disguise. By all means, beautify yourself, decorate yourself, dress to the max. But you see the character, the personality, the you and the I, God wants you to be yourself. Don't pretend to be something other than what you are. Because this Lord is Ajar, Amar, Avinashi. He is Antaryami. He understands your innermost desire. We can't fool him. We cannot trick him. Those of you who are hiding behind a post, no fault of yours, it's because this is how my home is. We have plenty posts. And I remember when I was building this house, I specifically said to the carpenter, I only wanted 9 pillow trees, 9 posts. I never liked posts. Many people came and said that, Pandit, the beam is too far, the house will fall down. It hasn't fallen down yet. And I wish I could have built a house with no post, so everybody can see. This is why I placed the little screens for you. But the point I want to make, if you try to hide behind the post from this murti, if you take a peek, the eyes is always looking at you. Try it. Prove me wrong tonight. Any image you have of your divinity, try it at home. The eyes is always focused on you. But the problem in the world is that our eyes are not focused on the Lord. Our eyes, our minds are focused elsewhere. So before I start to talk on a different tangent tonight, this is my message for you tonight. I am forewarning you, those who are listening on the airwaves and those who are here, this katha will not finish tonight. They will have some continuation, but there's a lot of points in this katha that I want to project in this year from the Ganesh Puran. Girija dwara punya vrat ka anushtan karna. Bhavani ma Girija, she has many names. She's Parvati, she's Durga, she's Ambika, she's Kali, she's Kalika, but one of her name is Girija. Why Girija? Because she hails from the mountain. She's most radiant and pleasant. And Girija is always next to Shankar Bhagwan. Ashutosh, Sundadata, that Lord. Many a times, this Girija doubted the Lord. For many a times, Bhagwan Shiva said to Devi, Shri Ram is God. Devi, this one is God. But Devi Ma, the ficklest of the mind, she did not believe the Lord. And whenever Bhagwan Shiva says something to Goddess Parvati or Girija, and she did not listen, Bhagwan Shiva closed his eyes and go in meditation. He said, if my wife can't listen to me, then what is the use of having a wife? And while I'm on that point, my dear friends, there's another statement I want to make. For you see, I am going to answer all the doubting Toms. I want to say different Indian names, doubting Toms in the world. For when I'm busy working here, people say all kind of things on the machine, on the phone. You see, when the srotas come, last night, my wife put a chandan for me, and she placed a mala. And observe me very carefully. I'll take my little towel. It doesn't mean I don't love my wife. For the doubting Toms out there, the only reason I wipe off this chandan is because I have little or no hair in my head. And when I sing, I sweat. And when the sweat runs on the chandan, it comes into my eyes. It has no other meaning. And I'm saying this to you, my dear friends. Those are one of the doubting Tom's questions I had today. Pandit, you don't love your wife? Why rub off the chandan? This Pandit do not wear chandan. And that is the reason why. It have no other reason. And this is why, my dear friends, many of our religion, the scriptures, the things we do, people take nonsense and make it sense. So let me straighten out that one time. The only reason, and it is their duty, not because I say this tonight, that tomorrow they will not put the chandan. It is their duty to it. But this is my chandan. I could do what I want with it. Isn't it so? Huh? Do I tell you how to put on your mascara? Huh? Do I tell you how to comb your hair? Do I tell you how to tie your shawl or your sari? I don't. So what is on my body, I am free. But that does not mean that you must not put chandan for people. That is your duty. When you see those great swamis, when you put mala around the neck, you don't feel embarrassed when they take it out and put it aside? But only when Pandit goes and wipe out the chandan, people have a problem with that. People have a problem with a lot of things in the world. And what for them to have problems about, they leave it alone. So let us get back to this katha before I go haywire. Sutaji is explaining this katha. Many exponents of this great text. And they say that when Bhagwan Shiva sometimes is annoyed with Devi Parvati, he dies in silence, in peace. Sometimes, my dear friends, it's worth for us to be quiet. Silent is golden. Not everything you want to see. You think I wrong in saying about it, Chandan? I just wanted to clarify the doubting Toms out there. That's all. And my dear friends, Goddess Parvati, when Lord Shiva opened his eyes, she held on to his feet. And when he saw her steadfast devotion, massaging his feet, he said, "Var mango." That doesn't mean if you want a mango. Var mango means, "Oh Devi, ask a boon. Anything you want, it shall be yours." And with tears in her eyes, she said, "Oh Prabhu, I want a putra. I want a son." And my dear friends, our katha begins at this point, where Bhagwan Shiva says, "Tatastu." Tatastu means, so shall it be, Devi. If you want a son, no problem in that. But there are many things that you must do in order to have a son. You must perform this special brat. You must perform fast, rituals, penance, and your wish shall be answered. This katha begins, Girija Dwara Punya Vrata, how Girija, how Devi Parvati, in that form of Girija, the type of worship, the type of vrat she is going to do in order to have a son. Put your hands together. Listen to these words. Om Gam Ganapatibhyo Namo Namaha. Bhagwan Shankar ji आज्ञा सुनकर गिरिजा नंदनी अत्यंती आनंदमय मग्न हो गया और पुण्यक व्रत का अनुष्ठान आरभ्य करने के लिए औष्टात संग्रामी के एकत्र करने लगी। तभी भगवान आशुतोष ही आज्ञा से अनेकों को ब्राह्मण भृत्य एवं गणा वहां भी उपस्थित हुआ। माघ मास के शुक्ल पक्ष के त्रयोदशी अनेक पर उन्होंने शुभ मुहूर्त में व्रत का आरंभ किया। Bhagwan Shiva is speaking to Goddess Parvati. And my dear friends, you see, there's something else I want to say. And sometimes when I want to say things, I have to keep silent. But me, I say silent no more. For I am going to say what I have to say. Some of my critics out there are saying to me, Pandit, but last night you read Katha and you read little or no Hindi. So out there, people are questioning whether this Pandit Satyanand Gosai could read Hindi. And I could be so bold-faced that if you want to know if I could read Hindi, call me. Have me over by your home and I read all the Hindu you want. For this katha is 49 pages long. And if I go to Rate Hindu here, nobody will understand nothing. All that I read just now, how many of you understand anything I said? Raise your hand. Want me to read it again for you? Huh? Read it again for you? But you see, these are the doubting tongues. Last night, we had a Dharam Ratna in the form of Sri Ramcharan Gosai, who studied Sanskrit in India. You think I want to impress him that I could read Hindi? Huh? He taught Pandit Gyan. He taught me, I understand he taught Pandit Krishna Hindi. It was not my desire to impress him, Sri Ramcharan Gosai ji, that I could read Hindi. My dear friends, if I go to read Hindi in this book here, how many people would understand? how much would I say to you? You see, my dear friends, I am not here to impress people how much Hindi I know or how much song I can sing. But my dear friends, if you want to test my ability in Hindi, bring the book and come. That's all I have to say. I am not trying to buff you up. These are the doubting Toms in the world. You see, in the Ramayana, Goswami Tulsidas tells us, there is a Raja, a king with 1,000 eyes, and poor fella don't see nothing good. Pirtu Raja, he have 1,000 heirs. Bapre Bap, he don't hear nothing good. Such is the personality in the world. My dear friends, I want you to take the good, not the bad. This is what life is. This is Lord Ganesh having these huge heirs. Sift out the good things and leave the bad things out. But I want you to listen to this katha. Tabhi Bhagwan आशुतोष ही आज्ञा से अनेक का ब्राह्मण भृत्य एवं गना वहां उपस्थित हुआ. He says that in this katha, Sutji is explaining these beautiful words. Girija was given the okay by Bhagwan Shiva to engage herself in this fast, rites and rituals. I said last night that tradition is there to be broken, but rites and rituals should not be curtailed. What do I mean by that? There are some bhaktas who wants to do prayers, who wants to have worship, and they will tell the Pandit how to perform the rites. Well, not this Pandit. I will do my rites and rituals according to my ability. And if you don't like that, well, you have choices. Would you imagine in wedding ceremonies today, and we see it all the time, the people who are getting married, they themselves, they chop out this and chop out that and chop out the next. You know what I mean, chop out, local palangs. They want to cut this out and cut that out and cut the next out. I say no problem, but there's certain things you can't cut out. Certain things in our rites and rituals, certain things in our wedding ceremony is tradition. That you can cut out. But the rites and rituals, you should not cut out. And so it is, I want to say to you, do not circumvent our scriptures with rites and rituals. Parvati Ma Girija, she wants to have a son. And who is the rightest person to ask for that? Her husband. And she asked him, and he says, Tatastu, but if you want a son, Punyavrat, a good son, then you must fast and perform these rites. And he gave her all the rites and rituals. And then, my dear friends, he indicated to her that you must perform these rites and rituals in the month of Magh. Those of you who understand Hindi, when I read just now, you will hear Magh. What month is that? The month of January. He says in the month of January, you should start this vrat. Aur Sukla Paksha. What is Sukla Paksha? It is the bright half of the month. From new moon to the 15th day. It is called the bright half, Sukla Paksha. And the second part of the month, it is called the dark half. And it is called Krishna Paksh. So our month, Hindu calendar month, is separated into two parts. The bright part and the dark part. Sukla Paksh, he says to her, you must perform this brat in Sukla Paksh. He also says that you must start this fast Trayodashi. Trayodashi. In Hinduism, we don't have the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Every day there is a name for it. How many Hindus know that? How many Hindus know that Trayodashi, if the month starts on the first, what number of day in that month is Trayodashi? Anybody? But they want me to read Hindi. Huh? You want me to read Hindi? You want to test my Hindi ability? What is Trayodashi? Trayodashi, my dear friends, is the 13th day in the Hindu calendar month. The 13th day. And my dear friends, as I mentioned to you, we have a day, not the first, not the second, not the third, not the fourth, not the fifth. Each one of these days means something. The first day in the month was the new moon. Pratama. Ik. Number 1. Number 2, Dvitiya. Number 3, Tritiya. Listen to these words. They mean something. It is not by chance. The 4th day is the Chaturthi. And the 5th day is the Panchami. The 6th day is the Shashti. And the 7th day is the Saptami. The 8th day is the Ashtami. The 9th day is the Navami. That Navami means song familiar to you? Shri Ram came on the Navami Tithi, the 9 days. Navami Tithi Madhu Masapu Nita. These days mean something. The 10th day, my dear friends, Dashmi. The 11th day, Ekadasi. The 12th day, Dwadashi. And the 13th day, Trayodashi. The 14th day, Chaturdashi. And the 15th day, Purnima. Beautiful words, isn't it? They all mean something. Purnima is the full moon. If I go to tell you about these dates, you will never hear Ganesh Puran. But I thought I'd mention these things to you to let you know that all these days mean something. Purnima is the full moon. And my dear friends, the 13th day is Trayodashi. And on the 13th day, if you want to begin any sorts of fast, then check the Hindu calendar. And my dear friends, on the 13th is a beautiful day to begin your fast. Sometimes people call, Baba, when is the best day? Hindus should know these things. And you know what is the quest? What is the $1 million question? So why aren't the pundits telling us these things? Why? Well, you figure that out yourself. Chaturthi, Ekadasi, all these days, several fasts is done if you want to maximize your merits from your pujan. So Bhagwan Shiva is saying, O Devi Girija, Shukla Pakshor Magha, or Trayodashi, you must begin this vrat. And my dear friends, on this Trayodashi, she began this vrat. And my dear friends, in beginning this vrat on this day, Bhagwan Shiva, rather Sutji, Bhagwan Krishna is saying to Maharaj Yudhishthir, she wants to perform this fast to culminate into a Mahayagya. And what is a yagya? A yagya is a special sacrifice. And I want to tell you, there is no big yagya and there is no small yagya. Yagya is yagya. Some people say jagya. It all depends how you pronounce the word. It's the same thing. And so he says, in order to perform this sacrifice, for you to get merits, bardhan, for the manner in which you want, therefore, O Devi Girija, it is important for you to perform it in this manner. And she is following the instruction. So, my dear friends, in this yagya that she's about to begin, Brahmaputra, Brahma has several sons. Sanat Kumar, Saptanik, Chaturanand, they were all invited. Bhagwan Vishnu, Vishnu Bhagwan, he was also invited. Or Lakshmi Kamalapati. Who is Lakshmi Kamalapati? It is the consort of Vishnu Bhagwan. Brahma was invited. Saraswati Ma is his consort. She was also invited. Bhagwan Vishnu, my dear friends, wherever he goes, he don't go only with his Dulahin, Lakshmi Ma. He go with his counselors. All his attendants, they were all present in this yajna. Sanak, Sanandan, Sanatar, Kapil Dev, Dharmaputra, Nar Narayan. Famous individuals, they were all present in this yajna. All major deities. We have what is called the Holy Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Then, my dear friends, we have all the Devatas and Devis. They were all invited. Every single one of them. Nobody was left out. None was left out. And I tell you, my dear friends, in our pujan, when we perform yajna, the rites and rituals that Pandit Gyan does, he invites all the devatas. Through the medium of mantras, they are all seated in this bedi. Hence I said last night, the most important part of any yajna is not the vyas. The most important part of the yajna is the puja. Most important. But you know, sometimes when we have pujas at home, and we have the Ramayana in the night, and people have that. So in the morning time, 3 people will sit down and do puja. And in the night, everybody dress up and thing. So what happened to the puja in the daytime? Is that a different God you are praying to the one in the night? I am saying these things for you because the focus in human minds, devotees today, is ostentation. The Lord sees. He sees all of this. We cannot fool him. If human beings could recognize all these things, what about God? So when you are dressing to perform pujan, even as a little puja self, dress to your best. For you are trying to please the Lord. You're not trying to please people. I don't think you want people to, oh, look at that beautiful sari. Oh, look how that Pandit tie his dhoti. I never see that before. Don't please human beings' mind. Please the Lord's mind. I want you to listen very carefully. All these individuals, the devatas, the deities, all the serpents, everybody was invited to this yajna. And when they were invited to this yajna, they were all given their respective asana, their respective seat. In our scriptures, Himachal, do you all know who is Himachal? Himachal is the father of Girija. Himachal is the father-in-law of Lord Shiva. So Himachal wanted to do this yajna. And in this yajna of Parvati or Girija, Himachal was always there. He was also invited, along with his wife, Mata Sunaina. The in-laws of Lord Shiva was in this yajna. And not only the in-laws of Lord Shiva, the sisters of Girija, they were present. How many sisters that Girija, Parvati has? Huh? Do you all have a picture in your home or you see it anywhere else where Durga Ma, it have a set of ladies in that picture and it have one lion? Have you all seen that? Have you all seen that picture? Check what sisters it is. Parvati, Girija has 7 sisters. I don't want to tell you their name today. It is of no issue in this katha. But the 7 sisters were there. Girija makes it 8. And the lion, my dear friends, you know, sometimes when we're doing Devi Puja, you say you have to get 9 kanyas. And you have to put a boy there. Huh? You know, years ago when I was a little child growing up, I was one of that boy, going by people's house all about, amongst 9 girls. There's a sit to eat the lapsi and suhari. As the traditional custom people have. They were all invited. And my dear friends, Himachal, the king of the mountains, when he observed At his son-in-law's, his daughter's home, he was santosh, he was happy. Who will not be happy when they have children and the children is married and the children is excelling? He sees all the devatas and devis, the father-in-law, and pride grows in his mind. Look at how good my daughter-in-law living. Every parent want that for their, don't you? Huh? But you see, in our scriptures, we also told us that Bhagwan Shiva was in Mount Kailash Parvat. And a yajna was taking place at the home of Himachal, the father-in-law of Lord Shiva. And Parvati sits in Mount Kailash Parvat, and she saw all the aerial chariots, the divine embodiments. They are going by her father's home for this great yajna that her father was doing. And my dear friends, she's saying to Lord Shiva, O Pati Dev, O Lord, He Deen Dayalu, Dekho na, open your eyes now. All these devatas, look at how beautiful bedecked they are. And they are going to my father's home. There's a great yajna. But Tavuna, let's go now. Let's attend this yajna. And Lord Shiva, with a heavy heart, he says to Parvati, he said, Oh Devi, you see all those people who are going to that yajna? They were specially invited. But oh Devi, we did not get any invitation to your father's home. Your father did not invite us. Then why should we go? Are you listening to this? Lord Shiva is educating Devi Parvati. Now sometimes when you try to educate someone, they get angry, you know. Do you know that? You know, when I read sometimes, this is why the Vyas have the highest seat in the house, you know. Huh? We could look around and we could see everybody. And Parvati is saying to her husband, let us go. It is my father's home. And Bhagwan Shiva says, Oh Devi, oh Kamal Netravali. He wants to tell her something, but he uses a lot of adjectives to make her feel appreciated. He calls her Kamal Netravali, oh lotus-like-eyed one. Ati Sundari, oh my beloved, oh Pyari. And I always tell people, husbands, that is, when you speak to your wife, you speak with loving terms. Don't you say honey and chukuluk something. Even though your wife eye not like Kamal, like lotus flower. Say, Ate Kamal Netravali. Oh Devi, your eyes like lotus flower. The girl will feel good. If she is not happy herself, she will smile. What is this saying? Even Bhagwan Shiva, he is the Lord and Master. He wants to speak to his wife to explain something to her, and he knows that she will be angry. But one thing with Lord Shiva, whether you're angry or not, he will say what he has to say. He says, Oh Devi, and it's written in the Ramayana, it is written in Shiva Puran. He says, Oh Devi, one can go at one parent's home anytime. One can go to one guru's home at any time. One can go to one friend home at any time. One can go to one boss's home at any time, if they so please. Parantu, but, O Devi, if there is harsh words, if there is enmityship between you and that person, one should not go unless they are invited. Because the welcome is not going to be so good. And Devi Parvati got angry. And what she did? She says, Oh Prabhu, this is my father home, and you can't tell me not to go. I am going. And Lord Shiva closed his eyes, and he went into meditation. That was not my katha, you know. Just to tell you, my dear friends, Everybody was invited, even Himachal. Devi Parvati, she went to her father's home. And when she went to her father's home in that yajna, her father looked at her with scorn. Why have you come? I didn't invite you. Why have you come? Her sisters looked at her and they began to show off. Look at how beautifully we are garbed. Look at how you dress. And my dear friends, Devi Parvati, when she looked at the sacrificial arena, the rites and rituals, she saw no offering made to her husband, Shambhu Mahadeva Adidev. And she decided to think, how could I go back to my Lord? I failed to listen to him. How could I go back to my Lord? And my dear friend, she burnt herself in the Havan Kund. And Lord Shiva could not live in separation of his Devi. He began to scream, say, oh Parvati, why didn't you listen to me? How could I live in Mount Kailash without your presence? Everywhere Lord Shiva looked, it reminded him of Shakti Devi. He was a miserable man. Could you imagine when your loved ones leave you from this world? I said a few nights ago, we have devotees who have lost their wives, lost their children, lost their parents through this difficult time. Life is too short. Therefore, when you stand before this Pratima, when you stand before the Lord, pour your hearts out. So my dear friends, all was invited. Himachal, he's proud. He's a proud father, like all fathers should be. And my dear friends, being there like this, Suji is explaining this katha. They were all given their respective seats. And in so being given their respective seats, the beautiful Mount Kailash Parvat was beautifully decorated. Words cannot describe the intricate designs. Sandalwood, carved, sweetly scented, Mount Kailash Parvat was transformed. When you do something for the Lord, my dear friends, do your best. Do your best. Don't hang your heart where your heart can't. People must understand that, you know. Don't hang your heart where your heart can't reach. And I want to explain that because it's rampant in our country today. There are organizations who are having big yajna. And you see when the yajna done, they owe in this one, they owe in the next one, they owe in that one. Is that the way to do a yajna? Is that the way to do a yajna? Opportunists in the world. I become upset when these things happen. My mouth is itching me. You see, these are the things that people say pundits don't say. But this pundit is saying, I'm saying it because I'm tired over the many years trying to assist this organization, trying to assist the next one. Pundit, you know, the yajna make money. Yajna is not to make money. Is that what yajna is done for? To make money? Well, if that is what yajna is for, then something is wrong with us. Don't you think? But therefore I'm saying to you, don't hang your heart where you can't reach. For the Lord is not looking at the quantity, He is looking at the quality. My dear friends, the atmosphere, there was great happiness. If I drop a pin in this house here today, I could hear it. The stillness in Mount Kailash Parvat, you can feel it. You can feel the vibrations. You know, sometimes you go somewhere, my dear friends, and like you just did. You know that? Don't you feel that sometimes? Huh? But when you go to a yajna, you're supposed to feel divine. You're supposed to feel transformed. Your hair is supposed to Pulaka Sharira, stand on ends. And not because of the starch on your clothes. I'm trying to make this katha so enticing to your mind. When you have your pujas, it doesn't matter how much people is there. Do it from your heart. When you do your puja, my dear friends, subari hai, tears should come to your eyes. Feel the presence of the Lord. Feel santosh, satisfied that yes, I have done my puja. I have tried to please my Lord. Oh Prabhu, may you bless me. May you bless my children. May you guide me. May you protect me. May you sanctify my home. My dear friends, if you perform pujas like this, we will have a happy world to live in. I'm asking, why are we in so much troubles here and troubles there? Because everybody looking to show off. If I may use that word loosely, show off. I am very particular how things are presented on the outside. So therefore, I come down on my children. I come down on Shrishti. I come down on Farid because I want something to be presentable. It's not that I upset with all the fellas, I like things a certain way. And I am maybe old-fashioned, but I like to call myself a trend setter. And I want you to be like that. I don't want you to be a photocopy machine. If it's one thing I don't do, I don't follow people. I follow my instinct. I follow my heart. And if I do this year, the next year, it rises. And if I don't rise, then something is wrong with me. Many years, we have 5-foot murti, we have 6-foot murti. I think we went up to 7-foot murti. This year is a 8-foot murti. It could have barely squeezed here. Do you feel magna? What is magna? Magna is ecstasy. We didn't put this murti here to show off. We put this murti here, my dear friends, because of our love and devotion. It is not about money. Yajna should never ever be about money. Yes, it takes money to do a yajna, but my dear friends, at the end of the yajna, we shouldn't be holding our head and bowing, oh God, where will I get money to pay for this? Where will I get money to pay for that? That is more sin, pap, you have created on your life and other people's lives. So they were all invited, very special individuals. Invited. Everywhere there was joy and happiness. Paramananda. Premananda. My dear friends, Lord Shiva himself, he stood on the threshold of his premises and he welcomed individuals. He greeted individuals to his home. You might ask the question, why this Pandito jump down the Singhasan and greet people? Why are you talking about that for? You see, Lord Shiva was not the Vyas. Lord Shiva was not the Pandit. Lord Shiva was not the head priest in his home. However, I am. I am the priest here, the head priest. It doesn't mean that Pandit Ganesh is the high priest or the lower priest. He has his function. But I sit here as the Vyas, which means it's difficult for me to greet everybody. That's why when I come here, I do a universal greeting. I'm trying to answer that point. Lord Shiva is greeting people into his home. Maybe in some time, if I have another Pandit sitting here, then I will have the ability to greet you and hold your hand and give you and say, you sit here, you sit here, you sit here. But I don't have that privilege at this time. You all understand that? Huh? But when you have your yajna, if you can't do it yourself because you are sitting to do puja, you must assign. That is what we are doing here. Lord Shiva, he is greeting people and he have assigned certain individuals to do certain things. If I go to outline, who was the cook? Who was taking charge? All that is in this katha, All that is in this katha. I want to say to you, My dear friends, all these things were put in place at the home of Lord Shiva. Devi Girija wants to do this yagya, and a yagya is not a little thing. It's a big thing. Dhanda Yaksha, Devraj Indra, Daneshwar Kuber, Danya Yaksha, Shri Bhaskar. Well, here they specify Bhaskar. That is one who look after all the planets and so forth. We have a book that is called Bhaskar Panchang, which tells us of our daily planet. Lord Bhaskar, he was the executive president in the home of Lord Shiva for this rites and rituals that he's about to engage for his Dharampatni, Girija Devi, Varun Deva. I'll tell you this one. Bhagwan Shiva calls the individual Varun, and he made him the chief kitchen respondent. He was responsible for the restaurant to make sure everybody was comfortable when they presented their meals. And my dear friends, they talk about ingredients. Milk flowing like rivers. Well, in Mount Kailash Parvat is a mountain. Curd, ghee, grains of all different types. Food items. My dear friend, there's a beautiful katha in the Ramayana. And not too often do I get to read the Ramayana at my home. Maybe the next time we'll have... I don't want to say I want to cancel Ganesh Yagya, but there are many different scriptures that we have. We don't get time to read. But in the Ramayana, there's a beautiful katha which tells us there's many different type of food we must eat. There's a certain type of, just briefly I'll tell you, there's some type of food that when you put it in your mouth, it melts. That is the only way you can enjoy it. You can imagine what that is? You ever cook that? Huh? Maybe sometime I'll write it and give it to you. There's some type of meal, you have to chew it to enjoy it. It is there in the Ramayana. 7 different type of dishes that we should prepare. There's some type of meals that when you have to swallow it to get the real gist and the flavor of it. So even food is a very important thing. The way we prepare it, the way we do it, and how we present it, it is important. The divine sages were all there. And my dear friends, they were all seated arrangements for everyone. At the same time, on the inspiration, we are told that Bhagwan Shiva was so happy, he was so pleased. And Girija Parvati, she is observing very carefully. And in so observing, he looks at her and he smiles. And on this occasion, Lord Shiva took the opportunity to say something. He put his hands together. I want you to visualize hundreds of people, all the intricate preparations. It was all done. Everybody was happy, comfortably seated. The aroma in the atmosphere, radiant. He put his hands together, and these are his words. Lord Shiva is speaking. Put your hands together. Hari Om Namah Shivaya, Bhyo Namo Namah, Gam Ganapati Bhyo Namo Namah. Parvati ji ne ke व्रतारंभ काल में भगवान शिव ने के प्रेरणा से अनेक प्रकार की दिया भाजने लगी। तभी शैल निधि की ने पवित्र गज जल से रत्न कर शुद्ध वस्त्र धारण किया और विप्रों के पूजा विधि का आरंभ किया। He says, O Devas, O specially invited guests of mine, my Dharam Patni, Shailaputri, Girija Nandani wants to have this yajna. And I have given consent for her to have this yajna. Hence, we have invited all you wonderful, blessed souls at the commencement of this yajna. With all humility, I have given my Bhajan that if she performed these vrat, if she performed these penance, as that prescribed to her, performing all these rites and rituals, in time to come, she will have that punya vrata, that splendid son that she desires. Therefore, you have all come, and I would like you to give her your choicest blessings. Parantu, so that this yajna will bear the fruits that she desires. Choice words, isn't it? Vishnu Bhagwan, Brahma, Sanat Sanandan, Sanat Kumar, Agni Devata, they were all there. Lakshmi Devi, Saraswati Devi, they were all there. And my dear friends, Bhagwan Shiva is saying, bless her. Bless her that she could have this son that she so desires. My dear friends, not only Devi Parvati wanted this son. I've been telling you for years that Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati, they themselves wanted to present the world with a special gift. And what is that special gift? Look in front of you. The gift of Gajanan, the gift of Ganapati, the gift of Vignaharta, that Lord and Master of the world. But my dear friends, as the Katha goes by, all the different exponent is saying it is not going to be an easy road for Girija, Parvati. The mothers who are in the audience, is it an easy road to bring forth a child in the world? Is it? Men could only hear of it. To go through that process, we men will never know. It's a divine experience. It's a divine feeling. And my dear friends, Girija, Param Sadhavi, Girija Nandari, she started the rites and rituals. And in so starting the rites and rituals, my dear friends, the entire service, the entire yajna came to an end. And my dear friends, what do you do at the end of a yajna? Somebody tell me. You're frightened? Huh? At the end of every puja, at the end of every yajna, there is something you must do. Tell me that. There's a word like plenty people don't like to hear, Dakshina. What is Dakshina? Yeah. There is one thing you must do, and that yajna is incomplete unless you give. When the Baba comes to your home, see, plenty people have like to talk about this, But I am leaving nothing out here. One of the most important things you must do in a yajna, in a puja, is Dakshina. So Parvati, Girija Nandani, she looks at the Brahman. The Purohit, who was reciting the mantras, Hiranya Gharava Samavaktatagre, Bhutascha Jata Patirektarakshi, all these mystifying, mystical mantras. One of the most important things in a yajna or puja is to give the dakshina to the Brahman. So Parvati put her hands together, Girija, and Lord Shiva is smiling. Bhagwan Vishnu is smiling. Brahmana, all the devas, they have already received their gifts. You know, in yajnas and somebody, we wrap up this present and we give, say thank you. But you don't tell the Pandit thank you and shake your hand. Do you do that? No, you don't. I am saying don't hang your heart where your heart can't reach. But you must give Dakshina. Dakshina is part of the rituals. It's part of the rituals. Along with fulfilling your other amendments financially, Dakshina is important. Now, she turned to the high priest and she says, Varmango, tell me, what could I give you for Dakshina? And this is where the janjat will start. This, when I say janjat, it's a Korean thing, because this Brahman is a cool Brahman. But he's very firm. He says, you sure you want to give me Dakshina? What you want to give me Dakshina for? She says, no worship is complete without Dakshina. And I must give you Dakshina. But here Parvati is asking the Brahman, tell me what could I give to you? And he is saying, you sure you want to you could give me what I want? If you cannot give, don't ask people what they want. Plain talk, bad manners. Then give from your heart what you could give. But I also want to make a statement as a Purohit, right? You must give what you have to give with reason. I'm not trying to talk about monies you should give pundits. There are some pundits that I know of actually charge a fee. I don't want to call the names on air, but I know them. I know them very well. And they actually charge a fee. It have some $500 pundit, some $1,000 pundit, some $10,000 pundit. It have. We have to be careful. So when the yajna finish, you're in a predicament because you're supposed to please the Brahman. That is the point I want to make. I remember the first wedding I did in Shanti Bhavan in New York. I married to a Punjabi couple. And this Punjabi boy came to marry with a sword, a real swordry. And when the wedding is done, he woke up to me, he said, "You happy?" And I got scared. I never do a Punjabi wedding yet. "You happy?" I said, "Where is this boy?" And he took off 500 US and he gave me. "You happy?" And I answered him, he took out the next 500 and gave me. So I stayed quiet. Huh? I stayed quiet. This is a real, I don't want you to laugh. I'm making a point here. In the Indian theology, this is what happened. In weddings and so forth, they ask the pundit, "What do you want?" They give him a 10,000. If they're not happy to give him more. Do you do that? I'm not saying that. But then the fella hold on to his sword. I say, "Yeah, happy." Huh? I ain't taking no chance. But I did not know at that time that was their tradition. So we come back here. Parvati ask me what you want. I am the wife of Lord Shiva. Anything you want. And the Brahman is saying, "You sure you'll give me what I asked for?" Huh? Hey, Dwijraj, the Purohit is very silent. Very silent. And then he opened his mouth. Anybody want to make a guess what this Brahman asked for? Huh? He says, "Oh Girija, your rites and rituals will come to pass. But if you want it to come to pass the way you want, then give to me Ashutosh. Who is Ashutosh? Come on, you all should know these things, you know. Ashutosh, Shambhu Mahadev, Adidev, Bam Bam Bole Mahadev. Give me. I want to take Ashutosh out of Mount Kailash Parvat and go with me in my village. Parvati, she said, Hare Bap, Re Bap. Look at what this man asking for. In her mind, she is saying, what is the use of life living without my Lord, without my husband? But she wants an heir. She wants a son. And she knows that if she do not please this Brahman, her rites and rituals will not come to fruition. You think Lord Shiva and Parvati, when they went through in this world to bring to us Lord Ganesh, it was an easy task? It was not an easy task. And Parvati Girija is saying, "Oh Brahman Devata, ask for me." He says, "But you told me to ask. And now that I ask, you are in this predicament. You must give to me, Lord Shiva. I will not leave here until I get Ashutosh, Bam Bam Bole, Adidev Mahadev to go with me. And I want him as Dakshina." She found herself in a predicament. So you see, my dear friends, and I'll wrap my cut up tonight. If you want to hear the continuation of this, tune in tomorrow. Oh, my dear friends, come back to this residence. These are things that we must know. The sacrifice that Devi Parvati and all those who got involved to present this Ganapati to us, it was not an easy road. And both mother and father, having brought him into this world, he says, "Surrender your heart to me. Any ailment, any predicament, any trials, any tribulation, he is able and competent to destroy it, every single one of them, from your life." The Brahman, he's cool. I like to call him the 3 C's. Cool, calm, and collect. He just did. Waiting patiently for Parvati to respond, Girija to respond. In the meantime, I leave you here tonight. The mother of Bhagwan Ganesh, she has a predicament. She has a problem. She do not want to part with her Lord, Shambhu Mahadev. She do not want to part with her husband, the Lord and Master of the world. If you had him, would you want to part with him? Huh? All sorts of things are going through her heart, going through her mind. And my dear friends, you should never finish a yajna with a heavy heart. That's how you finish your prayer, with a heavy heart? You will never get results. My dear friends, I never read this katha before. It's the first time. And I said to myself, this year is different messages. Some of them will be harsh. Some will be difficult. But my dear friends, these are the kathas that we need in today's world. We will never appreciate what we have until we know where we have come from. We all know what Lord Shiva and Parvati give their son. What is the sacrifice that they made to present this Baba, to present this Bappa, this Ganapati Baba Muriya to us in our lives? While Pandit Gyan make his way to prepare Havan, I will leave you with this thought, that may you, when you come up here today to offer your hardi and your sindoor and your dubgras, pour your hearts out to that Lord. But I want you to remember that Girija, Parvati, she has a predicament. And that predicament, beloved devotees, is that she has to give Dakshina. And so too, one day in your life, you will have to give Dakshina. This Dakshina, my dear friends, does not only mean to the Pandit. Uncle Jang reminded me today that years ago, Every time we have Ganesh Utsav, we used to feed a home. Not so, Uncle John? But for the past few years, we did not do it. So this year, my dear friends, we'll be making that attempt again, where we'll prepare a meal and send it to a home that Uncle John will choose of his choice. For me, was give back. All that is Dakshina. It does not only mean giving the Baba, giving the Baba, giving the Baba. Huh? We have to give back in our lives. The Lord and Master give the world. We have to give back. How do we give back, my dear friends? We give back with the right attitude, with the right behavior, with the right love and the compassion in our heart. And if you can do that, my dear friends, your life will be prosperous. Your life will be worth something. You are not here by accident. You are not here by chance. You are God's most prized possession. Treat yourself like that. Chidananda Rupam. Join with me. Shivoham, Shivoham. I leave you tonight with the giving of Dakshina. The Brahman sits very comfortably. Cool, calm, and collect. But yet still, Devi Parvati, who has made all this elaborate sacrifice to perform this rites and ritual, she is in a predicament. I leave you with that predicament. We shall continue this beautiful message tomorrow. Prem se bolo Shri Gajanana Swami ki. Join Pandit Gyan with our final Havan.
All right, my dear devotees, let us all sit upright. Focus your mind now on the Mangal Murti in front of you. Seek the divine grace and blessings of Ganesh Baba, asking him to bless you, guide you, protect you, fulfillment of desires. As we commence with Havan, we want you to participate in a very meaningful way, simply by saying Swaha with each offering. Om Agnaye Swaha, Om Somaye Swaha, Om Pajapate Swaha, Om Indraye Swaha, Om Agni Jyoti Jyoti Ragni Swaha, Om Surya Jyoti Jyoti Surya Swaha, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Swaha, Om Lakshmi Tabhyo Namaha Swaha, Om Gauri Ganebhyo Namaha Swaha, Om Namah Shivaya Swaha, Om Namah Shivaya Swaha, Om Namah Shivaya Swaha, Om Durgaye Namaha Swaha, Om Lakshmiye Namaha Swaha, Om Saraswate Namaha Swaha, Om Krishnaye Namaha Swaha, Om Ramaye Namaha Swaha, Om Pamputraye Namaha Swaha, Om Hanumantaye Namaha Swaha, Om Bajrangbalyaye Namaha Swaha, Om Suryaye Namaha Swaha, Om Somdevtaye Namaha Swaha, Om Mangal-devtaye Namaha Swaha, Om Buddha-devtaye Namaha Swaha, Om Guru-devtaye Namaha Swaha, Om Shukra-devtaye Namaha Swaha, Om Shani-devtaye Namaha Swaha, Om Rahu-aye Namaha Swaha, Om Ketu-aye Namaha Swaha, Om Kul-devtaye Namaha Swaha, Om Gram-devtaye Namaha Swaha, Om Astam-devtaye Namaha Swaha. We all join together in chanting of Gayatri Mahamantra. Om Bhut Bhuva Swa Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhut Bhuva Swa Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhut Bhuva Swa Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Namah Shambhavaya Cha Mayo Bhavaya Cha Namah Shankaraya Cha Mayaskaraya Cha Namah Shivaya Cha Shivataraya Cha Swaha. Om Agnaye Jatavedase Swaha. Om Sarvamvai Purnagvam Swaha. Om Sarvamvai Purnagvam Swaha. Om Sarvamvai Purnagvam Swaha. Purnahuti. Everyone stand now, please. Focus your mind now on that Supreme Being, Paramatma, in the form of Lord Ganesh, asking him to bless you. The mantra we use is Prayashchit, meaning penance and forgiveness, seeking that divine grace and blessings of Ganesh Bhagavan. Om Yadasya Karmano Atiricham Yarvanu Namihakaram Agnesha Shresha Gravetyata Sarvan Sesham Sahotam Karutame Agnaye Shishikate Sahuta Huta Sava Prayashita Hutinam Kamanam Samadaitre Sarvanam Kamanta Samardhaya Om Purnamada Purnamadam Purmatatitate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishishyate Swaha Achman Om Madite Anamanya Swam Om Manimate Anamanya Swam Om Sadasate Anamanya Swam Om Deva Savita Prasuya Jam Prasuya Prathimagaya Devyo Gandarkitapu Ketangana Punatu Vachaspatir Vachana Swadatu Fun Om Riswagni Patijahagri Tamishapurte Sunam Shudi Thamayansha Asmin Sadaste Ajutarasmin Vishwe Devajmansha Siddhatha Prince Shri Agni Devta Ki Jai. Arati.
We join in our final arati. Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha Deva, Mata Jaki Parvati Pita Mahadeva.
Ganapati Deva, Ganapati Deva.
Bolo Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha Deva, Mata Jaki Parvati Pita Mahadeva.
Ganapati Deva, Ganapati Deva, Ganapati Deva.
O Ganapati Deva,
Ganapati Deva,
Ganapati Deva,
Ganapati Deva.
एक दंत दयावंत चार भुजाधारी, एक दंत दयावंत चार भुजाधारी, माते सिंदूर सोए मुसकी सहारी। गणपति देवा,
Ganapati Deva,
गणपति देवा,
Ganapati
गणपति
Deva.
देवा, जय गणेश। गणपति देवा, अंदन को आकर कोरियन को काया, अंदन को आकर कोरियन को काया, बाजन के पुत्र देत निर्धन को, बोले गणपति देवा, गणपति देवा, ओ गणपति देवा, जय गणेश। हार चढ़े फूल चढ़े और चढ़े मेवा, हार चढ़े फूल चढ़े और चढ़े मेवा, मोदक का भोग लगे संध्या से। गणपति देवा, गणपति देवा, ओ गणपति देवा, जय गणेश। गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे, हे गोपी गोप बाला।
गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे, हे गोपी गोप बाला।
गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे, हे मुरली गान लोला।
गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे, हे मुरली गान लोला।
हे गिरिधर गोपाला, कृष्ण गिरिधर गोपाला, यादव गिरिधर गोपाला।
हे गिरिधर गोपाला, कृष्ण गिरिधर गोपाला, राधा गिरिधर गोपाला।
श्याम मुरारी घन श्याम मुरारी, Mangalam Garuvadvajam Mangalam Pundarikaksha Mangalaya Shtanu Hari Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhu Chasaka Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. May peace, Shanti always be with you. May your lives be peaceful, may your home be peaceful, and may we continue to live with the God-given blessings in a peaceful country. Om Shanti Om.
Om Shanti Om.
Om Shanti Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Om.
Hari Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. प्रेम से बोलो गजानन स्वामी की, उमापति महादेव की, पवन पुत्र हनुमान की, आज शक्ति दुर्गा देवी माता की, सत्य सनातन धर्म की. Pandit Gyan Bhajan mantras remain standing.
My dear devotees, Bhajan has been prepared for everyone. Whenever you receive food, you must always ask God to bless the food before you partake of it. It doesn't matter what you eat. So ask God to bless this food. Om Manapate Anasyano Deyanamiva Shushmana Pradatarang Tarishe Urjano Dehi Dvipade Chatushpade. O Almighty One, Lord of food, we partake of this meal by Thy grace. May we use only those foods that are health given, free from disease, pure and nourishing. May this food help us to overcome our difficulties, and may all bipeds and quadrupeds derive benefit therefrom. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Thank you.
Please take your seats. Once again, my dear friends, I want to thank you all for being here tonight. Do come out again tomorrow night and join with us. If you're not able, my dear friends, you can log on to PT Go Sign, or my dear friends, Swasti Vachanam. My dear friends, I want to welcome MP Khadija Amin. Thank you for being here. And I know you will join us another night. Maybe give us your blessings. May you continue your work. A very eloquent speaker when I listen to you. May the Lord bless you, guide you, and protect you. Thank you for coming. Again, my dear friends, I know Anjani and Vinu brought my school friend Richard. It's a long time I haven't seen you. Thank you for coming. Life has changed. We are different people now. This is what I have become. Thank you for coming to my home. And my dear friends, we are going to invite you to come and make your offering to the Mangal Murti. When you finish, you can partake of meals in the front. Those of you who do not wish to make the offerings to Mangal Murti, you can have your meals. Come out again and join with us tomorrow. And while this is done, my dear friends, very silently, there is no eating in the back. All the eating is in front. We give an opportunity for people to make their offerings in a sattvic way, in a most peaceful manner. So while you make your lines to come and make the offering, Rakesh Bhaiya will do some beautiful songs for us. Over to Rakesh.
जय गणपति बाबा, जय गणपति बाबा, गणपति बाबा, जय 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 गणपति बाबा, सकल विघ्न संग भक्तन कानी रिधि श्री संग लिए भक्तन हानि जय गणपति बाबा जय गणपति बाबा जय गणपति बाबा जय गणपति बाबा गणपति बाबा जय गणपति बाबा गणपति बाबा जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणपति बाबा जय गणपति बाबा चक्र विदन हारी जय गणपति बाबा मैं काठी दीनना लीजिए हमको सनातन मैं काठी दीनना लीजिए हमको सनातन सकल कंद हरि सकल सकल कंद हरि सकल जय गणपति बाबा जय गणपति बाबा जय गणपति बाबा जय गणपति बाबा चक्र विदन हारी जय गणपति बाबा गणपति बाबा जय गणपति बाबा गणपति बाबा जय गणपति बाबा जय गणपति बाबा जय गणपति बाबा मातक सिंदूर लाल सा है चल चला लाल मातक सिंदूर लाल सा है चल चला लाल मस्तक पे चंद्रबाल मस्तक पे चंद्रबाल जड़ बुझ भाई जय गणपति बाबा जय गणपति बाबा जय गणपति बाबा जय गणपति बाबा चक्र विदन हारी जय गणपति बाबा गणपति बाबा जय गणपति बाबा गणपति बाबा जय गणपति बाबा जय गणपति बाबा जय गणपति बाबा जय गणपति बाबा संतन